All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Cowboy and the Closer. Excited about episode 2 today. Today, we're going to talk about a path forward in a slow market through ownership, lead generation, and reinvestment. Welcome back, Chris.
Excited. I love this. I like the title, by the way, the Cowboy The Closer. It's pretty unique. That's awesome. I'm excited for these. I love these things, especially because the market is where it's at. You know, you and I are both in this space of real estate, which is what we talk about a lot. And I think it's been a conversation across the board, everywhere, on all social media platforms, in your own little boardrooms, in your office spaces, right? In the coffee shops, everybody's talking about it. If you're a realtor, you're having a conversation about it. You're feeling the pain, the pinch, the noose around your neck as it's tightening. You're feeling all that right now.
Yeah. Most of the realtors that I have talked to, my friends are wondering what the heck is going on with the real estate market, right? Yeah, right now, a lot of you are probably struggling. You're looking at your bills. You're looking at your grocery cart. You're looking at your family, wondering how you're going to make it work in a market that feels frozen. A lot of you have probably experienced the phone stop ringing, the leads stop coming in as like they were. I can give you some personal experience. I can tell you that in Cape Coral, Florida, where I'm located, it's coined a lot here recently as the worst real estate market in the United States.
Yeah.
How's the market in Hawaii, Chris? Are you guys
Well,
still crushing it? What are you guys doing there?
we still are. Obviously, we have a huge influx of foreign money, foreign buyers that come here all the time, right? And a lot of those foreign buyers are pretty huge. Coming from a business, they own a lot of businesses, right? So usually typically selling off a business for hundreds of millions of dollars kind of type of scenario. And they're trying to park their money, obviously, in some kind of investment. And Hawaii is a great spot, obviously. It's a location where people are driven to constantly, huge tourist attraction. So we always have a massive flow of traffic, of people coming through here and staying. So a lot of people will come, buy these properties, dump their money, hold it here. They obviously buy these properties in cash, right? Turn around and rent them at really high prices because you can do that here. Rentals are pretty high here because, again, location. So
Right.
And people will come here and they'll spend that money. I mean, people will spend the $10,000, $15,000 a month in rent because they have the money to do so.
Sure.
So it's definitely that we're having a huge piece of the market still moving forward. I'm not saying that we're not susceptible to like everybody else. Obviously, yeah. We're definitely on a 3-year run here, if you haven't figured it out yet, of probably one of the most challenging, I might say the worst, most challenging markets since probably 95, 99. Definitely not even close to what it was in 2007 and 8. We're a whole different beast. This is like black and white. But yeah, for sure. We're seeing our pinches of that. We're seeing the bottleneck. We're still in the pressure a little bit, for sure. This isn't like it's affected us, for sure. But yeah.
Well, I mean,
different story.
Yeah, we're getting crushed. I am in a second home market. So what happens when interest rates go up and when people's stock market or their retirement funds start to dry up, they start to cut things like second homes and other things that they don't need, right? They don't take the vacation that they normally would, whatever it is, they start cutting back because they have to. And so my market is one of the first markets to feel the pain when the market retracts, right? But everybody that I've talked to, not everybody, but a lot of people that I've talked to so far are feeling that definite slowdown and wondering when it's going to end. And then we got all that exciting stuff. It's kind of exciting and scary at the same time, the whole AI thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And how that's going to disrupt real estate.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Double-edged sword, in my opinion, but yeah.
Well, so that said, what if you could own the brokerage if you could own a brokerage or you could produce extra income cash flow without all the overhead? Right. So that's kind of what we're getting into today. But by the way, we built a system that helps agents consistently close 2 to 3 deals per month. And if you want to learn how that works, just visit partnerwithdougandlona.com and you can leverage our $50,000 marketing team to have everything built out for you. And we will show you how to close 2 to 3 deals per month consistently to help you get off the treadmill. And we'll talk more about that later. So here's the reality. The market is slow in Florida and beyond. Agents are scrambling for deals, and brokers are bleeding cash on overhead. Chris, you have a lot of oversight. You had a lot to say when we were off screen about brokers bleeding overhead.
Literally. Yeah. This is a reoccurring problem, and we're seeing it a lot more. I think we're obviously seeing a pinch as realtors, individual solo real estate agents in the business, obviously seeing a huge impact on our business transactionally. But that trickles down. I'd say it back up, because obviously it's a top-down model, so it trickles back up to where it's affecting a lot of the actual owners now, truthfully. Because when agents aren't producing, guess what happens, right? The revenue, the income, the profit's not there. The cost of the bills to run that model, though, still wants their money every month. It's like anything else in life, right? Rent 100%. Comes around the first of every month. And when you don't have that money there, you're digging and scraping, you're trying to figure out how to rob Peter to pay Paul kind of scenario. Eventually, Peter takes off and leaves, tells you to screw off because there is no more money to take. So yeah, you're getting to a position now where not only we're seeing the impact on real estate agents, we're seeing the impact on brokerage models. And this is why I think the big turning. You mentioned the word AI a minute ago. This is the big pivotal turn here. I feel like in the entire system we're in right now, where we've transitioned technologically on a level in which things are at one level so much more convenient for us, for sure, the convenience to it all. But the other end, it's destroying, because it's cutting a lot of things like human behavior, human interaction, humans, period, out of the equation. Not saying realtors are going to be extinct. Let's not go that far. I'm just saying there's a lot of process and methods and efficiencies that are going to be replaced here real soon by an AI technology. And so these traditional brick and mortars that we've seen, these legacy type brands, yeah, I'll say the names: Cole Baker, Remax, Keller Williams, Century 21, Sotheby's Christmas. Yeah, those guys, they're going to become extinct too. And I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but they might already be. They're just fighting tooth and nail and every disparity at this point to try not to, like, literally go into the quicksand. So yeah, there's more and more of that every day. I see it out here. We're seeing a lot of franchises where their franchise contract is up, right? When it comes up, you have a decision to decide whether you want to re-up that contract or that noose around your neck a little tighter. And if you want to do that, I just got to ask you, man, what are you doing? If you're really thinking that's the way to go, God, I got some ice cubes to sell you in Alaska too by some Eskimos. I just don't really believe that's a method. But nonetheless, if that's a glutton for punishment, that's the direction you want to go, I think you should revisit some of these options now, because of where we're at in this business and life. There's so many more easier ways, as they say, to skin a cat. So many more easier ways to figure out leverage as an owner in this space of ownership. That's the topic we should talk about. Absolutely,
100%. So talking on that, then, can you explain a little bit more on how many, like, you're talking to a lot of brokers out there, right? Yeah. You've been making a lot of those conversations with brokers. You're seeing the pain that they're going through right now, right?
100%. We're seeing them actually consolidate. I mean, you've seen it a while back when Realogy came in. Now it's called Anywhere, I think, right? Anywhere is that big conglomerate, which, my God, who came up with that name, by the way? Like, you literally sat around a table and said, let's just call ourselves Anywhere. I'd go work anywhere but there. But yeah, now Realogy, all those things, they've conglomerated. They brought these brokerages all together because they couldn't singly, individually, on their own survive. And now we're seeing it here. I've seen several franchise models, Better Homes and Gardens, Remaxes. They're all like, well, we're suffering and dying on our own. Let's see if we can pull together and make this one last ditch effort to the finish line. Yes. I give them kudos, right? I give them kudos. Yeah. You're going to play the Titanic. You're going to be Rose. You're on that door right now, holding on to whatever his name was, Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know his name, but you're holding on to him like by dear life, and your arms are probably numb and they're freezing and they're ready to fall off. Whatever. You're at that stage. You're literally trying to rearrange furniture on the deck of the Titanic. I'm sorry, but you are. And 100%. So, yeah, they're trying to consolidate. We're seeing that more and more often. And that's what's going to happen, because the truth is, it's just basic math, people. It's not rocket science. 1 + 1 has always been 2. It's never been 2.5. So when you figure out you need X amount of this to make X amount of that to cover X amount of this every month, if that doesn't match up, we all know what happens. You can't keep taking money out of an ATM that has no more money in it. You got to go figure other options. So here we are. That's the facing that we're having at this point with these legacy type brands, these ones that are really top heavy in the infrastructure of cost and liability. You just can't no longer afford it. So yeah, that's why EXP, honestly, yeah, I'm not saying this as like a shout out, but I really am. That's why EXP is going to survive. Everybody keeps talking about we're not going to survive. Are you sustainable? Are you kidding me? Out of any model, we're the only one that's going to survive and sustain.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? So
yeah, we don't have the overhead. Going back to it, we don't have the overhead that everyone else does. That's one of the advantages to our model and being a cloud brokerage. But you actually said an interesting stat that I wanted to share with everyone. And this was last time we were talking about how many agents got out or didn't renew their license last year, wasn't it?
124,000 agents in 2024 did not renew their license.
Wow,
that's crazy.
124,000, right?
We'll see what happens into this year.
Yeah, it's going to be even more. And so on that, to share another stat, to tee off of that, Chris, I don't know if you've heard this, but Tony Robbins just had a business mastery session. And in that session, he was talking about that 70%, the prediction is 70% of jobs will be disrupted or gone in the next 2 years. Originally, I heard like 5 to 7, but now they're talking 2 years, 70% of jobs will be disrupted. I mean, that's hard to even fathom. Where do all those people go, right? Where do they go to make money? And how does that affect or have an effect on real estate? Just think of all the ways that AI is going to start to replace real estate agents. So I think and the reason that I'm saying this is not to scare people watching, but more so to educate people and let you know that I firmly believe that you can get out of the rat race. You can still get yourself in a really good position for what's about to come.
Yeah, totally.
By doing the right things, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the right things? Well, a lot of times, Chris, you were licensed back in 07, right? 06, mm-hmm. 07 during the last recession.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that I remember about that time period, and Lona and I actually did really well during that time period. That's when we actually started to hit our groove. We started focusing and getting good on bank foreclosures, doing bank foreclosures and things because we had to during that time. Yep. But I remember distinctly meeting with our broker, and the broker said, it's time to go back to the basics. So when we were at that point in time, I think lead generation, like web or internet lead generation, was kind of just starting. It was sort of in its infancy stages of getting, that's when, if you think about like the syncs of the world, were starting to get formed. Like they were just starting to come into existence, right? People were starting to, I used a website called Web Agent Solutions. Do you ever heard of that company?
Yeah.
Jay Kinder got me on that site many years ago, and it had a big picture of me on it and all this stuff, because I thought having a big picture of me is what sold people and whatever. But regardless, not to go off too much on a tangent, but the point is that was the beginning stages of when lead generation via web was starting to happen. And when 07 hit, and then I met with the broker, and the broker said, it's got to go back to the basics. You got to go back to having conversations with the people who know, like, and trust you. So we're kind of talking about different aspects here, Chris, because there are brokers watching and there are agents watching too, right? So I want to talk to both of them. But from the broker or from the agent standpoint, that person that's watching is probably wondering like, hey, I just need to do a deal. I don't need to own a brokerage or anything like that. But in reality, they do, to get off the treadmill at some point, unless they want to keep ending up in the same situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, from an agent standpoint, you have to have some consistency in your business. And sometimes we all know that real estate's cyclical. So whether it's right now or 5 or 10 years now, when we hit another real estate slump, you're probably going to find yourself right back in it if you don't build the right systems. And I think one of those systems, one of those systems is your past client business or having conversations and being able to produce leads consistently. And that's where that Partner with Doug and Lona website or our system that we built comes into play, helping you do 2 to 3 deals a month. So let's talk about a little bit about what wealthy people or successful people understand, what they have in common, right? One thing that I noticed is they all own things, right?
Totally.
They own things. They own equity. They have equity. They have stocks. They own companies. They own real estate. And we have the agents on here like, well, I just want to do deals. So how does that tie in? Well, when you start doing deals, you need to start investing your money. You need to start owning things in order to kind of get out of those peaks and valleys, I guess is what I was saying. Get off that transaction treadmill.
Totally. There's a piece of that where you're leveraging in a real estate mindset. Your number one focus is to leverage a transaction, right? Because that's what we've been told to do. You're told to go out and find your people, the lowest hanging fruit, right? People who know that can trust you immediately. That's the easiest ones to pick off. And then from the very get-go, that's your initial job, is to go after a real estate transaction. And you are so tied to that emotionally. Yes, we get tied emotionally to it. You're not supposed to, but you do. We're just human. But you get tied emotionally to it. You get tied financially to it. You get tied so many ways to this thing that's all you focus on explicitly the whole entire time. And then you pick your head up. And it's like 5 years, 10 years have flown by. And you're like, God, I've just been this machine constantly grinding out. And again, nothing wrong with that, because you and I both know we've had very, very nice, lavish lifestyles that we've accumulated doing that business. Not going to deny that. But at some point, I promise you'll have this conversation. You'll pick your head out of the clouds or off the ground in 10 years. You're like, what am I doing? Where am I going? And can I keep doing this for another 10 more years? Can I keep doing this for 15 years, right? And you should be having that conversation. You should be having that conversation, because just understand that this is a business. Real estate is just a business. Just like anything else is a business, you're now ownership of that business. You own your own business, which means you have the ability to decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, how often you want to do it, or when you don't even want to do it, right? Which we know what that ends up as. But it's full control of you, meaning that you have to take control of your end game too at some point, because nobody is going to do it for you. So yes, I think it's important to understand you got to if you're starting off, you're getting going. Yes, your one thing you should be looking at is how to get your business going. And quite honestly, in this 3-year slump, if you're in the business for 10 years and this is your month of not doing deals, you probably should re-trigger yourself and re-figure out how to course correct what you're doing, because what you've been doing isn't working, which is why it's important to probably click on that link and talk to Doug and Lona and figure out what that system is to help you generate more business. I talk to more realtors every day right now, and every one of them said the same thing. Their main primary driver of leads in their business is their referral and their sphere of influence, which is a great space to be in. Don't get me wrong. They're easy to convert because they already know you. It's a warm freaking lead.
Yep.
But that's not enough. You've heard Gary Keller, again, like him, love him, don't care, whatever. He's been screaming at the top of the mountains forever. You have to have your Mets and haven't Mets. If you haven't really clicked on haven't Mets, which is, if you don't understand what that is, that's actually lead generating every day and talking to people you don't freaking know. Your Mets are going to dry up. And everybody I've talked to so far, he said the same thing. You know what, Chris? My business is a little slower right now. Oh, it's all based on referral and sphere of influence. But, I never really have a problem with that. It's usually pretty consistent. Well, no, it's not. Quit lying, because it's not. But anyways, okay, I'll entertain that. But then secondly, and they're like, you know what? But it isn't recently. Duh, because the market is down. And you can't predict those kind of business. You can't predict it. It's completely inconsistent. So the way you consistently do it, they say recruiting fixes everything. Recruiting fixes everything in every model. It does. And recruiting means getting new business, new clients, right?
Well said.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's like, yes, get into business right now. Ownership is important. But if you're just getting out and you want to get started on this thing, you really need to build your business up. You need to get it going. We need to figure out what that looks like too. Get really good at it. Then understand the power of leverage. Leverage is your only next step, by the way. Without leverage, you're just going to do the same thing forever.
Over and over and over.
Yep, over and over. So, and leverage comes in different ways, by the way. It's not one thing. Is I'm leveraging. I'm leveraging myself. Really? Well, what are you doing? Well, I got somebody making the calls for me. Okay, that's like one minute small thing in the word of leverage. You're like doing one speck. Like, do you think an owner who owns a business is just doing one little speck of leverage? No, he's leveraging everything possible under the sun. And he means at any given time to make sure he's trying to find his way out of this model. It's just how it works. So yeah, sorry, I run on. I get excited about this.
I love it.
Whoa, let's wake up, people. Come on.
I love it. That's absolutely true. It is true. And to get off that transaction treadmill, you need to have those leads coming in. And so that's the system we built in a nutshell, right, Chris? We built this system that enables you to get leads every single day with very little ad spend. Our marketing team does it for you, and they bring in leads. That's the first step for an agent watching, is to get leads coming in this market. And yes, you can still produce leads. We have the system that's already working. So if you're not producing leads, you got to reach out to us, go to that website and learn more about it. We do this for people that we have partnered with because in our hearts, we want everyone to be successful, don't we, Chris?
100%. That's my main focus.
That's why we're here. We ain't on here for shits and giggles.
I mean, I love your face, Doug, but man, I'm here to help people.
So, the one thing is, I wish I would have done it while you were talking. I'm thinking to myself, man, I just wish I would have done it a lot sooner. I wish I would have known like what I know now. I wish I would have known it 10, 15 years ago. I was just having this conversation with somebody literally earlier today. I was like talking about retirement, and I was like, man, 15 years ago or whatever, I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't thinking about retirement and real estate together, or how retirement plays into real estate. And I think that's one of the biggest flaws with our business is you wake up every day unemployed, going out and chasing deals. And to your point, there's no end game in sight. And I want people who are watching start, like, there is a way, like, you can be producing and building your retirement at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of the model that you partner with, what kind of real estate company you partner with. Are you in a company where you're just at the lowest agent on the totem pole and you're feeding your broker? You're splitting all the money with them, but you're not gaining any ownership. You're still waking up every day chasing that transaction, right? Mm-hmm. So, I wanted to talk a little bit more about that lead generation side of things. Have you checked in? How well are you doing with that system, Chris?
Oh, it's great. I mean, my team that's doing it right now, they're already getting leads right now. So, I mean, I guess I want to clarify this a little bit. I think you mentioned earlier a little bit how we're moving more into this crazy market, crazy environment, and it's going to be more challenging. I don't think it's going to actually get better. I think it's going to get more challenging before it does get better. So for those that are really struggling right now, I think you should still pick your boots up and tighten that bootstrap, because it's not going to get any better, I don't believe, anytime soon. So you better figure out a different method right now, because what you're doing right now, what you have been doing right now, doesn't work, and it will not work. Like, plain and simple. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're listening right now, what you've been doing before will not work anymore. Like, you better get that through your brain and let the ego that you have, like, holding that wall in front of you, down, because you're just going to destroy. Ego is erasing great opportunities. You're about to erase a great opportunity here to understand the next level of how business is changing and developing. And so, yes, as they always keep saying right now, it's not the talented person. It's the most consistently, but the best marketer. The best marketer wins all day long and will continue to win all day long moving forward. It's about the exposure. It's about your direct marketing and how intentional and purposeful that marketing is. Because we see a lot of marketers out there, right, in social media. I see girls all the time with almost zero clothes on, trying to do some crazy dance on tabletops, doing whatever the heck that thing is. I don't know what the freaking thing is, but it's mind-boggling that thinks that it's going to generate business because you're doing some funny things on a table and trying to look cute with half your clothes off. That's attracting people, obviously, but it's not the right people. It's not intentional. I'm sorry. I hate to burst your bubble. That's OnlyFans. That's a different platform, people. But the truth is, if you're really trying to generate real, legitimate leads that going to really turn into money, you got to get real specific and direct. And that's what this thing that you're talking about we're doing here with our method that we built out a platform that we work with. It's about direct marketing. It's about specific marketing, not blanket marketing, which you can see that's more of a Zillow type online lead thing, is a blanket marketing, right? Which, if you don't understand what that means, it's they pretty much put out our listings. Yes, it's our listings that they're marketing for us, by the way. They're getting the data from us, and they're marketing our own stuff. It's like almost I can't say it. Yeah, they're marketing our own stuff for us. And truthfully, it's essentially this blanket where they put it out there and somebody's looking online at midnight, right, in bed, and they're scrolling through stuff and they see a really cool picture and like, oh, I like that. I want to keep seeing more photos like that. And of course, they have to put their information in there in order for them to see the following pictures. So that turns into a lead. In no way, shape, or form are you looking to buy. You're just interested in a cool picture. So that's the kind of garbage you get with blanket marketing. You get a bunch of can kickers, which is why it's like a 1 out of 100 lead conversion or a 2-year turnaround time for entering these leads. If you really get focused and find a direct strategic actual person that wants to buy specifically from you in a location you want to sell in, you can find that now defined by certain things with our technology and AI. It's so crazy. They figured out it, they've broken the code, and they understand the process of that. So just understand that. When you guys are out there talking about, oh yeah, I do my leads online, I try Facebook. Yeah, you're not doing it at a high level. I promise you that. You're not doing it at a $50,000 a month elevation level. I tell you that right now. You're
100%.
doing it like on the cereal box. You pull out the little decoder glasses kind of shit, and you're trying to figure that out while you're having your breakfast cereal on the table. That's how, sorry, not to like disrespect you guys, but that's the truth. You're a realtor. That's your space. You're not a technological like coder or a funnel builder or that kind of person. So you stay in your lane. We've built out something for you, a Ferrari for you to get into at this point. And yes, the ideal behind it is to help you create more consistency in your business, which makes it more predictable. And if you can create those two pieces in your business, that would change your game like completely right now. So yeah, just to get back to leads, sorry, yeah, that's where we're at with these leads and this funnel. The ability is crazy. You got to be the best marketer right now. And we are giving you the tool right now to be the best marketer.
100%. And on that note, we're going to give you a quick call to action. Here's one thing that you should be doing right now. One, you should be generating leads, right? And we can give you a system to do that. And the other thing is you should be calling your past clients, your friends, your family, your sphere, the people that already know you, and you should be using this script, right? This script. So you call them and it's super simple. And you just say, hey, first name, I was just thinking about you. How's the family, right? The market's shifting big time, and I wanted to reach out because a lot of people are asking what their home is worth in today's market. I'd be glad to run some numbers for you, no strings attached. Would that be helpful to you? Most people will say, yeah. Most people want to know what their home is worth or want to know what the market is doing. This is your time to show expertise, right? To show that you're the expert and you're the person to turn to, because look, you think you're the only person that's uncertain. That's not the case. Buyers and sellers and homeowners out there are scared too. They have a lot of fear. They're wondering what the heck's happening. Are they losing all their value? Are they losing their retirement and their equity in their home? And you're the person that can shed some light on it and give them some real advice and help them, right? Mm-hmm. And so offering them your expertise and showing them what their home is worth, that just having that conversation right there reminds them that you're in the business. And what happens a lot of times, I'll just having those conversations is you make them think of somebody they know, because what's the law of attraction? When you're thinking about something, you like, you ever wanted a car, Chris? And then next thing you know, when you start thinking about, your reticular activating system kicks in, you want a car, and next thing you know, you start seeing that car all over the place.
Yep.
Well, this what happens when you have conversations with your past clients. They start thinking about conversations they had with someone else about moving, that's thinking about buying or selling. Well, hey, my son is, my daughter is, or my sister, my uncle, whoever is going to be making a move in the near future. So this is kind of classic Brian Buffini stuff. If you guys are old enough to remember old Brian Buffini, is he still around? I
don't know. I mean, if he is, he's probably becoming extinct like everything else. He's like,
yeah, but his method is not like talk. That that's a free method. That's a lot of people just like, including myself, have neglected because we've gotten spoiled with all these lead generation systems that are out there that are not working as well as they were before, right? So going back to the basics, having scripts, and calling our past clients using this is one real quick fire method way to get some transactions going in your business. So I just wanted to share that.
No, I agree. And you know what, like you mentioned earlier, back to basics, right? The back to basics do work. But I will say this, the problem I think we're going to have is that we're coming into a generation of individuals who are extremely entitled, lazy, and enabled. If I'm being honest and being frank, right? So with that being said, I think a lot of these methods that you put up, I use these scripts. These are great. I mean, it's the thing forward, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and drive. Those are great key points to have these conversations. The idea is to get into a conversation. That is the idea. But we're in a world now of society where everybody just wants to text everybody. Nobody wants to get on a phone call anymore. Nobody wants to actually have conversation. It's so weird. And that's the direction we're moving, which means that these methods that we're saying, I love them. Trust me, Doug, I think it's important. It's like the thing that works all the time. But are we really going to get people to do this? I mean, if anybody that's listening right now, I really would like to see a shake of hands of people that would get up every day and practice scripts, which I used to make my team do every day before we even started our day. Practice scripts, show up a half hour early, practice scripts, and then we got into the actual business of the day. Do that. Like, how many people are really going to do that? And really do this to build these things. Because guess what? It's all about the automation. It is. Again, back to the AI stuff, right? The tools that are a blessing and a curse at the same time. We are building a world of lazy freaking people who do not know how to have a conversation. So these conversations that we're telling them to go do, I mean, are they really going to go do it? Probably not. But great. That's why we have the Doug and Lona thing. You plug into that. And click on that link, and we can actually help you, because guess what? If we can't beat them, we freaking join them. That's my theory at this point. You can't change the behavioral patterns of these people who are never going to change. And we're not. We just got to have to probably meet them where they are in this life. And where they are right now is, I want it done for me.
Yes.
Do it for me, and I want it done. Cool. If you're that person right now, which I think is everybody in the damn room, click on that link, partnerdougandlona.com. This is done for you. And yeah, it sounds like a glitch or a click or whatever you want to call that word, right? But it's not. Just check on it, at least entertain it. Let your ego down and understand that if you're really struggling, which I know you are, be honest with yourself and let the humbleness kick in and be like, yeah, I want to change my business. I want to change the trajectory of my life. And we can help you do this right now. So yeah, I think it's important you bring those out. I love it. I love scripts. I'm a script freaking guru. I just don't think people are really going to do it. But that's 100%.
I love it. That was a great segue. It's like, yeah, if you're not going to do that thing, this thing does it for you. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I kind of laugh at the fact that I see a lot of these people that put out all these things right now. Like you mentioned, Buffini. If Brian Buffini actually showed up and charged like $1,000 to come to his event to learn all his tactics, that dude would be making a killing, because he'd make $1,000 off of probably 1,000 people that would show up and think that that's going to be the magic button, and really isn't. And they all walk away from that, and maybe 2 people might actually implement what the Buffini program is.
That's it.
It's sad, statistically. So the only one that would win that scenario is Brian Buffini, by the way, not you. So yeah, get out of your own way. Click on that link, dougandlona.com, and we'll figure out how to do it for you.
That's right. That is right. And I can tell you that the system does work. Lona and I are personally using the same system. We're getting leads. We're having conversations with people in this market. And you can go there and just learn all about that kind of stuff. So what's your final thoughts, Chris?
Well, my final thoughts, honestly, this whole thing is real estate agents, number one. I mean, I think we're a dime a dozen, but we're not a dying breed. I think at this point, we've been around for centuries. If we go back for centuries, we've been in this business doing the same thing. And I was having this conversation with a lady the other day who was actually 45 years in the business, and she's 71 years old. And I was like, wait, I said, I got an interesting thought for you. I was like, 45 years ago, were you not doing the same thing? Like, honestly, were you not trying to help a buyer and seller get into a home and sell their home? Specifically, that's kind of what you were doing. And I says, in 45 years, we've progressed and transitioned into different types of platforms. Obviously, went from the book to MLS to all these things that we've graduated into that has been more efficient in our business. But we're still all doing the same damn thing. We're helping buyers and sellers buy and sell homes. 45 years. I said, could you ever think about that? 45 years, if you went back thinking in 45 years, I'll be doing the same thing over again in 45 years. Wow, would you have kicked yourself in the ass and said, no, I'm not going to do that. I want better for my life. Or were you settled and just went on that same path? I don't know. In my honest opinion, I believe that everybody universally in this world wants the same thing, which is how to stop trading time for money. If we all could win the lottery tomorrow, our life would change. And if you're sitting there right now on this call and you're telling me not me, I'm not that person, I'm not driven behind money, bullshit. I'm gonna tell you right now, the only reason why is because you don't have it. If you had it and you had abundance of it and you had like a plethora of money to where you didn't have to actually think of doing, you could live life on your own terms, you would start thinking differently. I promise you that. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just being honest. I'm calling it what it is. That right now we're conditioned to think the way we're conditioned, which is to be small. We're conditioned to think small. If you haven't figured that out yet, people in the world, we're conditioned to think small. And this market, as a realtor and this business ownership, is like the lowest level possible entry to get into a business that you could be extremely wealthy. Like low barrier of entry to get into this, to be extremely wealthy. If you understand the power that you have behind your fingertips, though, the full power, you're just seeing a small glimpse of it. Click on that dougalona.com. You're going to see a full picture that you've never experienced before in your life. The opportunity that just starts from there, by the way, and segues into something even more massive, like real abilities to create a life worth living. Literally, I'll take that from Keller Williams, right? A business worth owning and a life worth living. Yes, I don't believe even at Keller Williams that was ever a model. A business worth owning was not there and a life worth living was not there. You couldn't get that there either. I'm sorry. Not with the MRA book. I love it, but it wasn't going to give me a life worth living for sure. It was a life worth him living because he was building more soldiers within more soldiers and leveraging more soldiers to essentially exponentially grow his wealth.
He leveraged. It's just exactly what you just said. We're saying before. He just applied the principle that we're talking about, and that's creating leverage. So I guess in a nutshell, to make it simple for people, is step one is start producing deals. If you're not producing deals, you got to get producing deals.
Yes.
And which we're going to help you do. And then the second part we're going to help you do is start owning things. We're going to introduce you to a model that will help you get out of the rat race. If you're interested, if you just want to wake up and you want to continue to chase, then this link isn't for you. This is not where you want to go. We're here to help you get to that next stage and achieve true success in life.
100%. And I'm telling you right now, the thought process, because I already hear it, because I'm hearing the back of my head right now of people, because I hear it every day, right? I hear you do too, Doug. Like, oh, that's just a gimmick. Oh my God, you guys are just that pyramid scheme. Oh my God. Wake up, everybody. I'm sorry, but every one of you in this planet is in a pyramid scheme. Every one of you guys are. Everyone is. Come on.
Yep.
Right now, in the model that you're in, whatever brokerage you're in, I promise you, you're in a pyramid. The problem is you're at the bottom of that pyramid getting worked over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always one person at the top because there's only room for one at the top at the point. And that's typically, a Gary Keller, a Dave Lineker, those guys. And I'm not mad at that. Man, more power to them. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Good 100%. For him.
Yes.
Good freaking for him. But now, flip that pyramid upside down and put the point at the bottom and put the fat, wide, deep end at the top. And now what do you got? Well, you got freaking EXP. That's what you got.
100%.
So
and I think, to be fair, we were having this conversation the other day. We were talking about, there's companies out there that are, we're trailblazers, right? That's what I like to think of as EXP. We're the first ones on the scene to really create this model and change the game. And now you got all kinds of companies doing it.
Yep.
Right. And there's a lot of gimmicks out there right now, right? A lot of companies out there. There's companies out there, I'm not going to name names, that are saying, hey, get free car washes, get your name on a digital billboard or your picture.
Yeah.
But does that put deals in your pipeline? The answer is no, it's not. It feels good to know that you have those things. Maybe you went and got your car washed, but at the end of the day, did you get a closing check from that? And the answer is no.
No.
You got to have leads in your business to survive, right?
Yep.
You got to have closings, and you got to own things. You got to be at a company where you can have ownership in it.
Yep. Those are the three things you always talk, right? Leads, listing, leverage, right? Those are the three L's that we, and again, I'm not even bad talking. I love Keller Williams. I think Keller Williams is amazing. That whole model was amazing, revolutionary. So thank you, Gary Keller. Thank you for what you've done for us in this industry. Thank you. I'm not even knocking that. Without him, he was a pioneer. He was the radicalist that came out and changed the dynamic in the 90s that nobody was actually even thinking about, by the way. The Good Old Boys Club was not thinking the way Mr. Keller was. So thank you, kudos to you, and I appreciate you endlessly, because we would not be where we're at today without him. And so he needs to have credit where credit is due. But the reality is everything has a timestamp on it, and everything is progression in life, which means when something new comes, something old must go. Right? That's how life works. It's a law of averages. Something comes new, something old must go out to make room for it. And here we are. So we are just on a new path. Understand that. Embrace it and quit fighting it. For God's sake, quit freaking fighting it. That's what I want to say. Dang it, you guys, quit fighting it. It's freaking annoying me at this point. But sorry, I'm passionate.
That's right. So don't stay there. You can build wealth. You can own a piece of a company. You can focus. All you got to do is get some conversations going with your past clients. Go to that link, learn how to get some leads generated. We can help you close some deals. Start those conversations today and reinvest. Reinvest in your future.
Oh, and let's just throw this out there real quick too. That opportunity there at DougAndLauren.com. Yeah, that's potentially an opportunity to be free. Let's throw it out there, free. Since everybody else throws the gimmicks, okay, it's not a gimmick, the word out there, free. Yeah, the truth is it really is, though. It's an opportunity that's amazing to own a Ferrari for free. Let's just say that.
Partner with the right people that want to see you succeed.
Succeed, right?
Yeah.
And has the ability to do so, by the way, right? It has the ability to do so. And our platform allows us to have the ability to do so. It is. They call it what you want to call it. But yes, we are able to offer a Ferrari for free because of the opportunity that we have serves itself, where you don't get that anywhere else. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, I think we covered the topic pretty in depth today.
I think so too. I love it. Dude, I love this stuff. I just hope people that are listening actually take it to heed and just finally execute. Like, that's one thing. Is if you're listening to these podcasts, first I give you kudos for that, because you're actually listening to something other than that crazy rap and other garbage that you see online. Thank you. But secondly, man, execute. Pull the trigger. Stop living your fears. Start living your dreams. That's why this morning I heard a listen to a podcast with a Jim, and the guy said that, are you living your fears or are you living your dreams? And I'm like, God, it just hit me differently this morning, because I think, really let that sink in. Because I think most people are living their fears. And I got some response back, by the way, from some people, and I go, oh, no, Chris, I'm not living my fears. I'm living in positivity every day. I'm like, do you realize that the real thing that comes from your subconscious cavity, the subconscious thing that works 24/7, that's the elusive part that actually does all the thinking for you. Your day-to-day consciousness of, yeah, I'm thinking positive. Yes, that's great. But the rest of your day is that subconscious thing, man. It's thinking about all the shit you went through your entire life and experiences that were good and bad and ugly. And then that's your fear. Your fears are being rooted by that. That you have no control over. So anyways, yeah, start living your dreams, people, not your fears.
100%. Well, thanks, Cowboy.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I always love to collaborate, man. This is always good. We're like polar opposites of the world, by the way. You're like 6 hours difference there, and we're like, I'm way over here in this middle of the ocean, and you're way over there on the edge of the
yes, sir.
But yeah, I love you guys, and you and Lona, I love you guys. I'm so grateful to be partnered with you guys. And yes, who you partner with matters. It really does. So I appreciate you guys indelibly.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us on the Cowboy and the Closer. We'll see you on our next episode.
Phew.